Tom O'Neil and Pete Hammond of The Envelope talking about that original screenplay category at the Oscars. Now, Pete, there's only one nominee here that's up for Best Picture. That's Milk. Normally, that means it's a slam dunk to win. I think it will win, but you've got an interesting alternative scenario that could play out.
Yeah, well, I think the original screenplay category is interesting this year because there's 3 nominees we can write off, so to speak, right away, and that would be In Bruges. It's lucky to be there. Happy Go Lucky, no way. It was improvised. It was written by actors, actually. How it got in there, I never know.
But Mike Leigh has been nominated 3 times before, so they love him, but just enough to get
the
in there.
writers like him. We should tell the writers he doesn't write the screenplays. He assembles them.
And Frozen Rivers.
And Frozen River, Courtney Hunt, wonderful script based on her own short film. It should actually be in the adaptations, not in the original screenplay. Gone, all 3 of those. So then we have Milk.
Cruel Hollywood guru. Go on.
Gone. Sorry. And then we have Milk, and Milk actually, as you mentioned, is a Best Picture nominee, and that's always helpful. But it's not always the rule in this category. They've gone their own way sometimes. WallE. No animated film has ever won in the writing categories.
And lots have been nominated. Finding Nemo, The Incredibles. So in recent years, Toy Story, they've actually let them in the race, but none has ever won.
Yeah, and I think the time is right because WallE is loved in the Academy. They really like this movie, and I think beyond the obvious win in Best Animated Feature, they may be receptive to putting it in the winner's circle in some other categories, including sound, mixing, and categories like that, even music. But I think the screenplay is where we might see the biggest upset of the night and see a tune, the little tin WallE guy, who has no dialogue for the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's the other ironic thing about it, the script with no dialogue for the first half.
Yeah, but people don't understand, and I think they've got to educate the Academy at large. The writers know this. The toughest thing to do is to write a script where you have no dialogue like that. It's almost Jacques T-like Chaplin. It's charming, but don't discount the love that exists in that Academy for this movie. It didn't get a Best Picture nomination. This might be a way of really lifting it to the levels where they think that movie deserves.
Let's talk about adapted screenplay. That's normally the category that goes with Best Picture, of course. We think Slumdog is ahead there. Normally there's sweep voting, and that goes along for the ride. I think it's very, very ironic, Pete, this award season, the one contender that might have beaten it, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, because it has the literary heritage of F. Scott Fitzgerald. The irony is that the writer and the director have gone to such extraordinary lengths to disown. I mean, that's really bad Oscar strategy, don't you think?
I think so. You know, it is interesting. You know, but I mean, basically, it's an original screenplay.
I know.
I mean, they just took the premise, and he did. I thought a brilliant screenplay. I know even his competitors in the category. Peter Morgan told me, he said, of all of them, the only one that I think really is deserving of an Academy Award besides myself, meaning Peter.
And he is. He wrote The Queen and wasn't nominated for Last King of Scotland.
Peter Morgan. But I mean, you know, he says Eric Ross, Benjamin Button, he thought was an extraordinary screenplay, and it really is. And what Eric Roth did to bring this to life as this movie, I think would give it the award in any other year. But we're on this wagon train called Slumdog Millionaire, and it seems to be taking everything along with it. And you'll see Simon Beaufoy winning all the precursor awards here.
I know. And look, he was Oscar nominated for Full Monty. He's overdue to win.
Yeah. And but I don't think the script is the strength of Slumdog Millionaire. I think it's a director's movie. You know, and the script is great. It's fine. But really, the quality work here is done. You know, Frost Nixon's extraordinary. They took, you know, a concept that wouldn't work as a stage play and made it work as a stage play. Then they took that stage play and really made it cinematic. And who would have thought conversations between David Frost and Richard Nixon could possibly make a great film?
Very, very
good. He did that with the screenplay.
John Patrick Shanley, the other nominee in this category for Doubt, of course, won for Moonstruck years ago. Doubt's not up for Best Picture. It's not in there. But I just realized I stupidly agreed with something that I passionately disagree with you, Pete. Slumdog Millionaire, I think, with all great respect to Danny Boyle, and I think it's very well directed, I think the magic of that movie is the screenplay. I think, because everything down to how the story is plotted and told, it may not be the sparkle of the words that we normally measure screenplays by, but I think the exhilarating way the story is told is what makes it so magical. It's packaged beautifully by its directors, both of them we have to stress. But I think it would be richly deserved for a writer, including, by the way, he makes a point all the time, Simon does, of reminding us that as in the screenplay when he wrote Slumdog, yes, he did put it in there, the dance number at the end.
Well, don't get me wrong. I love Simon Beaufoy. I think he's a great writer, and I love the script too. I'm just thinking when you compare it to this epic job that Eric
I know
Roth
what
did
you're saying,
on
right.
Benjamin Button. It's very different, but that's a difficulty of the Oscars and any award show, is having all these great works, competing against each other. This is a great category. There's great work in the adapted screenplay. I do feel it'll go to Slumdog Millionaire, and I'm fine with that, but I do feel sorry for Eric Roth having done such great work.
But he got lampooned too because he got caught copying himself with the Forrest Gump, that notorious video that's out there on the web, reminding us of the extraordinary number of parallels.
Yeah, and who put that up there? It's kind of interesting. I mean, all
conspiracy.
There was a lot of sinister forces at work in the Oscars this year.
And we'll let you know who they are
Yeah.
later.